we're back. We're back. Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm so excited to be with you all today. Say hi, drop in. Here we are. Oh, it's just the best thing when we can be together. I wish I could see all of your faces as you're coming on. Someday. Hello, everyone. I'm realizing this is the first time I'm seeing myself on here without hair. So I've had a little more than a week to settle in and get used to myself. And I turned 39 on the 30th, and it's feeling really, really good. It's feeling really good. It feels like, I don't know, I always really appreciate that my birthday is about halfway through the year, because there's this opportunity for reset right now, it feels like. And I woke up yesterday and I feel fresh, I feel new, I feel like I popped out of the earth, and now it's time. And so it's a nice feeling. A lot of you have asked about the haircut. I'm feeling like I'm probably going to end up writing about this. And I haven't figured out where I want that to land yet. But I didn't plan to cut my hair, actually. I had a trim scheduled, and then when it came time to show up in the chair, it wasn't the thing to do. It was a full reset, clear everything moment. And so there wasn't a lot of time to prepare myself for the transition. And so this container of space has been really interesting. I shaved my head 21 years ago and haven't had short hair since. And that period earlier in my life, and actually multiple periods, I cut my hair this short when I was in first grade, much to my mother's disappointment. And then I did it again in 7th grade, which felt like a huge transition point for me then too. I grew up in a really, really small town, and the school was all one school because my town only had 800 people in it. And so we actually had a couple of towns combined to make our school. And from kindergarten to 6th grade, you were in a certain part of the building, and from 7th grade to 12th grade, you were in the other part of the building. And the summer between 6th grade and 7th grade, I cut off all my hair just like this, actually. And it felt like I had permission to be the me that had been inside and that had been put in this other box at kindergarten. And when I was 18, I did this again. I shaved off everything, fully shaved at that time. And again, it was like drawing a line in the sand and going, well, from here forward, I bring these parts of me and I leave these ones behind. And I suppose that's just what this year has felt like. It's been an unraveling, an unfurling, a remembering of these pieces of me and these chapters of me that have passed, and what is still ahead. Looking at life and realizing, no, I'm 39. I hopefully have many decades still ahead of me. And so I'm just giving a lot of thought to what I want that to look like and feel like, and what I want to feel like within that. And yeah, it's a good feeling. So hopefully hopefully you're picking up some of that energy too. Spring has this just inherently. So here we are. Last week I had a crazy headache, and so we didn't get on together, and so I have all of your questions from them. So I think I'm just going to dive in there. Before I go too deep, I just want to see if anything here isn't anything I should miss. Thanks for letting me catch up. It's been really fun this week, seeing all of your messages around haircuts. So many of you have had big moments of personal transition that were marked by physical changes, and I feel like that's such a human thing to do, whether it's clearing out a closet or changing up our wardrobe or cutting our hair or refreshing our makeup or stopping wearing makeup, or playing with our physical appearance is just a big part, I think, of uncovery and an opportunity to lean in and go, well, what do I like? What feels good? Okay, when can we expect the facial cloth? Really long from now. Nowhere interesting, not useful. I'm sorry. There's a billion face cloths on the planet. Just pick any one that feels soft and good on your skin, and when I can get you these ones, I will. We're a long ways off. It's at least several months. Probably more like next year. And I know I said that last year, so I try not to give promises. All right, I'm going to just dive right in. I'm going to go down the list, but if you have questions as they come up, I don't have a big agenda today. I just really wanted to be together with all of you and keep this consistency. So start from the top. You ask, how long should I leave the clean dirt on? So for me, typically the clean dirt I will use in the morning when I'm showering. Doesn't always have to be that way. In fact, I might do it at the sink here in a bit, especially since I'm always harping on doing it in the shower. And so many of you haven't seen it done at the sink very much before. So I might do that and then do some face massage as well. Some headache points and some eyes and ears and things like that. But yes, the clean dirt. So because I like to do it in the shower, ideally with the clean dirt, you get into the shower and you're in there for at least a few minutes before the formula goes onto your face. The reason for this is when you stay in the heat and the steam of the shower, one, it just feels delicious and you're allowing your body to settle in and be in that space. The sounds, the smells, the whole texture of being in a shower turns something on. And then from there, it's actually helping to prepare your skin. It softens up the exterior, gets everything all nice and mushy. So I like to think of it like a classic kitchen sponge, just the blue standard kitchen sponge. If you, your skin is a little bit like that. Before the moisture hits it, it's hard and it has this exterior surface. It's not absorbent. But as soon as you put that sponge into warm water, it starts to soften and become absorbent. So your skin really does the same thing. And so whether I'm talking about massaging oils into wet skin, you want it to be steam, softened, damp, mushy, soft skin. But also for your cleansers and treatments. And so I wouldn't go in with the clean dirt without giving the skin some time to prep. And with the clean dirt, it's especially important because it offers both manual and physical exfoliation. And so the physical exfoliation piece of that really requires that you soften that skin before it sloughs off. And so splashing your face with warm water until it softens at the sink at minimum. But ideally, you're going into the shower so that you can be in there for a couple of minutes, stand under the water, use your fingertips like this, facing into the water, right into the skin, softens everything up. And then when you feel everything get all nice and squishy, then you mix up your blend. If you've done this, you can do this in our treatment bowl outside the shower. If you're new to blending the clean dirt, I absolutely recommend doing that. So use your measuring spoon. I like to use at least a teaspoon or a half tablespoon for the clean dirt. So you would do equal parts powder and water. I'll actually just show that since we're here. the clean dirt begins as a powder. So it's all this concentrated goodness, clays and salts and spices and water activated vitamin C. So this is super, super fresh and potent. 1 teaspoon. I made it a little heaping. I'd like a little extra. And equal parts water. I'm just going to use water from my sink, but if you're feeling fancy, feel free to use the jasmine garden. That's really, really nice. And I'm just going to mix it up in the treatment bowl. And the treatment bowl and the brush really are super, super useful for blending the clean dirt and the problem solver. See how quickly that came together? There we go. That texture. The best. All right. So if we're doing this at the sink, and I just will, down here. You want to run your water and then splash until your face gets soft. In the shower, it's much nicer because you can be doing that for your whole body, and then any drip down doesn't matter. And then when you apply this and it streams down your chest, all of your skin gets the benefit. But for today, we're gonna do it here. And this is also a good thing to do if you have more sensitive skin, and if maybe you're wanting more of the chemical exfoliation from the clean dirt and less of the manual. You can blend it in your bowl like this, and rather than massaging it in with your hands, you can just brush it over the skin itself, just like you would the problem solver. In that way, how much manual exfoliation you add is a little bit more up to you than if you put it on with your hands. So I'm just gonna brush this on. If your skin is real sensitive, or if you have active outbreaks, then brushing on the clean dirt is a great way to go. If you don't have active outbreaks and your skin is really congested and dense and heavy, hyperpigmentation, texture, all of that, then I like to do this in the shower, go in with my hands and really get in there and manually exfoliate as well to get all the dead stuff flowing. Okay, nice and thick. Whoop. And you want it to be this thick. When you're mixing in the bowl and you're measuring it out, it might seem like that is more than you need, but go back in on top of where you just were and apply another layer. When you do this, the consistency, I'm going to show you on the brush, stays this consistency that's opaque. And that's what you want. You want it to be nice and rich and opaque like that, so that when you are massaging like this, and if you can tolerate the manual massage, the clean dirt is the best for this. So I like to go back in with my fingers over the top and move into these areas of dead skin, dryness, texture. I get this buildup under the chin, and especially if you are someone who likes to do your routine at the sink and you are rinsing at the sink, this buildup over the chin happens a lot of the time because rinsing at the sink is so hard. So I'll show you in a second what that does. But really, usually you're just building up around here. We treat our face and our neck as separate items, and that shows up in congestion and buildup in this in between. Okay, I'm gonna leave this for a few minutes. Someone asked, is it okay to do a full treatment of Problem Solver and then spot treat deep hormonal spots with it after? So what I would say is if you are doing the Problem Solver and you know that you're going to do a full treatment, just do the full treatment. Get in the shower, let your skin get really nice and soft. You can do a prep beforehand if you want to do a really deep treatment. You can do the clean dirt, rinse, follow with the Problem Solver. You could also do the pendulum potion first, hot cloth, steam it all off. You could do the honey mud first, nice and silky on wet skin as a cleanser, and then follow with the follow with the Problem Solver. But if you're doing the Problem Solver as a full face treatment, nice and rich with the full ratio, you don't need to do a second spot treat to follow. If you're not going to do a full face treatment with the Problem Solver and you wanted to spot treat, then go for it. You can spot treat every day if you like to. I prefer that you do 2 or 3 days in a row, and then a rest day or two, and then another 2 or 3 days in a row. You could also do spot treating every other day if that felt good. Play with it and see how your skin is responding. I tend to not do treatments every single day because it's really important to let your skin rest and find its own natural rhythm there too. Okay. Face had patchy flakes all winter. Still looks dried out by the evening, especially on forehead. Suggestions? Yes, the clean dirt for one is huge. Any of that dry patchy skin, the clean dirt will take care of that like nothing else. If you're finding that you need more softening of the skin beforehand to really get that sloughing off, do the honey mud first. So go in with the honey mud, gets the skin nice and soft. The salicylic acid really helps with that, gets inside the pore lining, so not just on the outside, but goes right inside the pore to clear out buildup and debris that's in there, any oil, dead skin, all of that. And so when you rinse the honey mud and follow with the Problem Solver, it can go in really, really deep. And then, yeah, honey mud, clean dirt, Problem Solver for the dry skin, the flakiness, the patchiness. Might be good to add the pendulum potion for your morning or evening cleanse to put some hydration back in too. And in the shower, mixing the pendulum potion and the clean dirt also helps with those flakes and that patchiness. Basically, if you get a layer of the deadness off through the Problem Solver, through the clean dirt, and you can still feel that there's more there ready to release, do another round with something else. Either add more power or more plushness. So either adding the Problem Solver or the clean dirt, or coming back and following up with the honey mud. All right, I'm gonna rinse this. So I like to massage as I'm rinsing. So you are still feeling your skin, finding where the texture is, feeling for where any of these residual grains are. And so now I'm about 85% rinsed, I would say. And I'm not gonna finish it completely because this is the part that's hardest to do at the sink. That's really easy and intuitive in the shower. So in the shower, when you're at 85-90% rinsed, where basically the bulk is off the skin, but you've still got the little grains in there, you know it's not perfectly clean. At that stage, if I was still in the shower, I'd be taking myself slightly out of the water and rubbing with my fingertips. So you're gonna see I'm gonna go real close to the skin. It's a firm amount of pressure, and you're just rubbing on the skin, on the wetness. So you're still sliding, it's still gliding, you're not pulling anything too much. But when you get in there like this, you're going to be able to feel in your fingertips the release of the dead skin. So just stay with it. When you feel that texture, if it feels super, super silky, glidey, you might have already released it just with the formula. But a lot of times, if you have a lot of built up dead skin, layers of congestion, and all of the flakiness that comes with the dryness, that is going to require your participation a little bit. So make your way around your neck, jaw. For me, it's this area here. The perioral dermatitis creates excess kind of production of cells here, and it's not as easily released. And so I will massage around these areas, rub around these areas. It's very normal for your skin to pink up while you're doing this, especially if, like me, you're prone to perioral dermatitis and other red-inducing conditions. But this really works. The clean dirt is still doing its work. We're not fully completely rinsed. We haven't put in anything else that's going to turn off its process. So as you do this, you're going to notice how this feels. So as long as you're feeling texture, stay with it. If it feels like more than is going to release with just your fingers, you can follow this with the honey mud. Actually, maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna follow with the honey mud so you can see that. So the clean dirt got off the majority of the deadness. And what the honey mud does is it's going to come in after, take any of the residual cells that are still there, soften them out, clear them out, and plump everything back up. So again, final rinse. Now I'll get off all the grains. Okay, and leaving skin completely wet. I'm gonna go in with the honey mud. Honey mud. And also I want you to see inside the jar, this dark cacao on the surface, that's normal. Just want, that is our fresh cacao oleo resin. It's insane. That smell, the best, the best, the best. But yeah, our cacao oleo resin is made for us fresh in France. It's really special. You can see it right there in the texture. You've got the creamy pudding part, and then that brown that comes to the surface is the cacao. So the honey mud can be used on wet skin or dry skin. When you're using it on dry skin, it maintains that pudding-like texture, really silky, creamy, gorgeous. Put that over dry skin, leave it like a mask. If you massage this into wet skin, you'll see it instantly turns to a milk. And this smoothed on after the problem solver or after the clean dirt, or just as your morning cleanser, your evening cleanse on days where you're not wearing makeup, the second part of a double cleanse following the pendulum potion. It fits everywhere. But I can feel under my fingertips, even with this, the softness and silkiness that comes back in following the clean dirt. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. More questions. Will a sunscreen interfere with my beautiful Maelstrom products? No, not at all. Whatever you wear for sunscreen, whatever is working for you, wear it. And skin is separate. Take care of your skin in the way that feeds the skin, and then protect for the sun in the way that makes sense for you, your chemistry, your environment, your exposure. Cleanse. Follow with the blue cocoon or the youth dew. I like to complete with the jasmine garden. Let everything settle for a few minutes, and then if you're wearing SPF or makeup, go into those from there. Just give your skin a few minutes to settle, just like you would wearing anything else from anyone else. And constantly asked about what SPFs I recommend. It's complicated. That really depends so much on you and your personal needs and goals. I'm super, super sensitive. I'm allergic to most everything. So I'm still always trying to find my perfect match, but we do have a list of some of our favorites that the Care Bears have put together. So if you send us an email to care@maylindstrom.com, we can share that with you and help you on your explorations. And someday, I'll have a better answer for you for that question. How to treat acne. Well, again, this depends so much on what kind of acne, what it's coming from, how it's presenting, if you're having pain, if they're open, if they're under the surface, so many things to consider. As a starting point, if you go to maylindstrom.com and you click into the Explore Skin Rituals tab, you'll see 10 different step-by-step rituals there designed to adapt to meet your particular needs. So that covers everything from oily and acne skin to skin following cancer and autoimmune conditions, dry skin, psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis, men's care, pregnancy. We really tried to be as thorough and informative as we could. So for ritual guidance, that is a really fantastic starting place. And to go more personal, especially if you have any medical conditions, allergies, sensitivities, history of skin challenge, health challenge, or just you want a human touch, that's our favorite thing in the whole world. Send us an email to care@maylindstrom.com and we'll go deep with you. Tell us everything about yourself. Share your history, what products you love, what you're really excited about, what's just feeling kind of meh, and we'll play with you. You don't have to be using all of our products to talk to our people. You don't have to be using any of our products to be talking to our people. So just reach out and know that we will support you however we can for wherever you are. Any tips for someone who's in the ocean a lot? My skin can't get enough blue cocoon. Oh, well, listen to that. First thing, before you go into an ocean, and this also applies to a swimming pool or a lake or any bodies of water, if you are someone who has really sensitive skin or really dry skin, or you're prone to having challenges following lots of water or sun exposure like that, first, in the weeks leading up to it, just take really good care of yourself. Get really consistent with your skincare routine, just your daily regular routine, so that when you find yourself on that beach holiday or whatever it is that you're doing that's going to bring you additional exposure, you already have a solid baseline. So I like to up my treatments of the Problem Solver and the Clean Dirt, get the skin cell turnover really in a strong place so that the cells that are on top are active and alive and doing their job well, and really increasing your hydration internally as well as externally. Upping your blue cocoon, especially extra in the overnight. As we head into summer, a lot of times I will hear people putting away their blue cocoon. Don't put away the blue cocoon in the summer months. It's so important to feed that moisture back in, and there is nothing, I tell you, nothing that is better for redness and heat and sensitivity that comes in the summer months than the blue cocoon. So keep that with you. I'm gonna rinse while we talk. I'm actually going to go into the blue cocoon. I can feel my skin is asking. Okay, so I'm just gonna rinse the honey mud. And already I can feel that any of the texture that was still remaining after I rinsed the Clean Dirt is gone now. It's just completely silky. Perfect. Okay, so back to the ocean question. And swimming. When you know that you're going into a state of overexposure, when you know that you're going to be pressing all the moisture out, make sure to get extra in there. Before you go into the ocean, if you can take a shower and cover yourself head to toe in a body oil prior to your SPF, same thing with your facial skin. So before going into the ocean, I like to do, or the swimming pool, I like to do a cleanse with either the pendulum potion or the honey mud. I'm gonna go into the blue cocoon now. This is about what I use for daytime. I cover about one index finger. And this depends too. Depends how far I'm taking it down. Depends on the season. It depends what I've been cleansing with. If I've done a heavier treatment, like the cleaner to the problem solver, I'll do extra. If I have done the pendulum potion, I might not need as much. So there's adjustment there. So going into the water, fill yourself up with oils and moisture first. Establish a solid baseline in your skin so you're already strong. Layer in the blue cocoon. So begin with the wet skin, do a layer of the blue cocoon like I just did. And then if you want extra protection, and why wouldn't you? I like to do a mist of the jasmine garden between layers. And then the youth dew, so good. And the sea buckthorn, friends, this summer is what you need, because following sun exposure, following all of that, the sea buckthorn in the youth dew is the best for burns. So pairing this along with the blue cocoon will keep you set through the summer. You really don't need anything else besides these two. So you can go back in, you can do more jasmine garden, you can just get your hands wet in the sink if you want, do more massage, but if you leave yourself a few minutes between these cycles after the first application of oils, it'll drink in, and then you can do another layer to really infuse the moisture before you go swimming in a pool or before you go into an ocean, and that will help a lot. And then while you're there, while you're at the ocean or at the pool, bring the jasmine garden with you and bring a little mini blue cocoon. It will melt, guaranteed. If you bring a little mini of the blue cocoon to the beach and it's hot, it will melt, it will turn to liquid. That's fine, don't worry about it. It's designed to melt at body temperature. It's why there's no waxes in there, and it's why your skin loves it so much. So bring your little mini of the blue cocoon, and if you don't have one, the minis are your gift with every order at maylinstorm.com all the time. Every full-size order comes with your gift of 2 deluxe minis. So you can pick those out of the cart. You want them. They're glass, they're refillable, they're tiny, they're adorable, they're the best. At the beach, at the gym, at the pool, wherever you're going, keep a jasmine garden with you, keep a blue cocoon mini with you. If you notice yourself getting areas of overexposure, you can add a little blue cocoon before you add another layer of SPF. Also around the eye area especially, and the lips and the nose. If you can keep those soft tissues hydrated and well cared for while you're at the pool, at the ocean, at the beach, wherever you are, getting all that extra exposure, that will help a lot. And then when you get home, be as chill about it as you can. Do a nice rinse in the shower, not too hot, not too cold. Let yourself feel comfortable, a nice like medium warm temperature. Rinse everything, and then feed more and more and more of the blue cocoon into your skin as much as it will drink up. If your skin is really, really hot, if you super burned yourself, wait until the next morning. You want to give your skin enough time to let the heat release naturally. So you can do cool cloths, you can do the jasmine garden, but wait on anything more than that until the next morning. And then post that, a problem solver the day after sun exposure can feel really good. It can feel extra intense, so know that you might feel more heat, more tingling. That's okay. Just know that that is normal. It is normal for everything to feel more intense following sun exposure. That's true of the honey med, it's true of the clean dirt, it's true of the problem solver. So don't be nervous about that. Just prepare yourself. I'm gonna back up a little bit so that I don't miss anything else coming in. I have lots of these, but I don't want to miss yours. Some of you are asking what makeup I used to wear, or that I might wear if I wore makeup. No, I really don't have much. Years ago, I used to wear RMS, Uncover Up, and the Living Luminizer. I also went through periods using Keratosis, which when I used to wear foundation, I liked that. I haven't worn foundation in years, so I'm not sure where I'll dip back into there. But their packaging is really beautiful and recyclable and refillable. The formulas are nice. In more recent years, I've been using Westman Atelier, which is really pretty, very, very pretty, and the formulas feel nice, and the experience feels beautiful. And I don't use much there either, but a little bit of cheek or a little bit of highlighter. Outside of that, it's really minimal. My brows are thinning as I'm aging, and they're also turning silver, which I'm not quite sure how I'm going to navigate that yet. So there's a couple makeup things that I like to wear, but this chapter has not held much of that for me, and that's been nice too. I do notice that the less makeup I wear, the better my skin is. Both my skin is happier just having less on it, but I also notice that when I'm not wearing makeup, I'm more likely to, mist my skin with the jasmine garden throughout the day. I'm more likely to, after I've sent an email or done a period of meetings, I'll go back in just like this, right? With a little bit of the blue cocoon where I need it, or something. And when I have makeup on my face, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing these little check-ins. And when my work day finishes, when I finally wrap up everything and before it's time for dinner, so around, 6 or 7, I finally finish my days and move into dinner time, I like to do at least a quick rinse, even if it's just a splash at the sink and some blue cocoon in the jasmine garden, or a little Happy Galaxy to reset. Also, Happy Galaxy, if you are doing this, yes, thank you for the hearts. It's so good. Okay, the Happy Galaxy is water activated. So this too, keep in your shower with you. Use this head to toe every single day after bathing. Leave your skin completely wet, skip your towel. Do about 4 to 6 pumps for the bottom of the body, 4 to 6 pumps for the top of the body. If you can, really, really fill your cup. Your skin is gonna be so happy. But if you're using this just for a little moisture boost and sensory boost during the day and you're not in the shower, take your little bit, little drop of water, just like this, see? Add your little drop of water. And what that does, so the niacinamide that we use is suspended in the actual oil itself. And niacinamide is a water-soluble nutrient. And in order to access its active components, the water is really necessary. And that's true of the sodium hyaluronate and the vitamin C too. And so using this on wet skin, or at least along with some amount of water, is really useful. And you will see it actually in your skin. And if you have this in your hand, you can even see it change the texture. So the Happy Galaxy's texture is just, it's so good. It's just this plush, really slippy, silky, amazing stuff. But the second you add water to it, well, you'll just see. You'll put it on your skin and you'll just see. It's really magical. And another funny discovery, so right after I cut my hair, I've got new product for the hair. And it was the same brand I've been using, and I like all of their other stuff, but I feel like the new thing that I got, my skin didn't like it. And it flared up a little bit after my haircut. And so for a few days, I was just putting a happy galaxy in my hair. And oh my goodness, it's the best. And I was doing this with my long hair and with the curls. And it was really, really awesome in the curls. The sodium hyaluronate mixed with water, scrunched into your hair, brings in the moisture from what's around and really brought out the texture in the curls and brought shine and was really nice. So if my hair had stayed, it was going in there anyway. But with this new short hair, I'm finding myself putting the Happy Galaxy in it exclusively. And I feel like this is kind of a cool experiment. I feel like this is going to grow out so much healthier, just infused with all this yummy oil every day. Also, it smells like pure joy. So it's a win. Put it in your hair. Put it everywhere. And add a drop of water when you do. What type of massage is best for the body? Someone asks. The type of massage that's best for your body is the one that you will get. So I love receiving massage. Love receiving massage. My mother is a body worker and a massage therapist, and so I grew up really, really embracing of physical touch and just somatic connection. It's a big part of my life, but I'm a workaholic and an introvert, and I don't leave my house very much. And so I don't often go for a massage. And so self-massage is my personal favorite form of massage, and what I think is the best for me. On a purely physical level, whatever touch that you can give yourself that feels good is good for you. It stimulates all kinds of wonderful hormone release in the brain and in the body, and you can feel it. You can feel it in your heart space when you tune in and take time to connect with yourself. So how to bring that into an active piece of your ritual. I bring massage into any of my movement in general. So when I wake up in the morning and I'm doing a little stretching, or I'm, turn on a little song and dance around a little bit, I will also bring my hands to my body so that if I am moving and swaying, I'm moving and swaying, and I'm also massaging. If I am opening up my arms, I'm opening up my neck, I'm massaging my head. Just bring it in. I think, one of these weeks I'm gonna put together some more videos on self-massage, and but maybe not live because because I want to be able to go in and to be able to have you watch and be able to drop in too without the distraction of the questions and the kind of live the kind of live energy without us being actually live. So we'll get there. Masterclass, someone says. Yeah, that would be really, really wonderful. If I were to hold a Zoom, you guys just tell me, if I were to hold a Zoom where we can all see each other and do massage together, would you come? Would you want to do that? Would you turn on your cameras and do it with me? Yeah. It's tricky. It's tricky, isn't it? The finding the time to drop in and do these things with each other. Yeah. Oh, Susan writes, "Hi May, I completely changed everything out of my closet, lost lots of weight, 50 pounds, loving all your products. I dropped one container in the shower, it broke, so I bought another." One, congratulations, proud of you. Shake it out. Sometimes we need these shifts to remember we can. Also, I'm sorry about the broken product. I'm glad you treated yourself. Do your products have an expiration date? They do. So formally on our packaging, the symbol on there says use within 1 year of opening. So that is what we determine with our labs. That's the ultimate potency delivery. However, a couple things to keep in mind. One, shelf life is kind of a made up thing. My philosophy on it is, over the last decade, we have over and over and over upped our sources to be the best of the best of the best of the best in the whole world. And not only are we receiving the very best raw materials from the very best vendors on the planet, but a huge part of what we do and what we're so obsessed with is actually getting this year's harvest, is actually getting the freshest of the freshest of the freshest at its most potent and at its most effective. I don't use plants because they smell good. I don't use plants because of marketing or for any other reason. I use plants because they work for the work that I am trying to do on the skin. That's it. It is what my skin loves. It's what I know how to formulate from, and the chemical properties of these plants are only active when they're still vital, when they still have life in them. And so the potency and freshness of our ingredients is everything. And so we devote an incredible amount of resources to our sourcing, to our inventory systems, to keeping everything small batch, to putting a birthday on every single bottle. And so what that tells you on the bottom of our bottles, okay, so this one, for example, this is the Jasmine Garden. It says made fresh 2/22. So this bottle, which I've had in my shower for a little bit, is 3.5 months old, okay? And that's from when it was filled to when it got to me to it's been in my shower for a moment. Most everything that we ship out is 2 months old or less. Sometimes if we make big batches of something leading up to a promotion or some other special event where there's going to be an influx of orders, we make slightly larger batches, but we're always rotating and shuffling everything around so that everything is hyper fresh. Nothing leaves our doors that wasn't made within the last 6 months. And 6 months might sound like a long time. Do you know what all of the retail contracts say on them? When in our past life, when we were in retail stores, a big part of the contract negotiations, a lot of the time, was retailers writing in how many years they were allowed to keep things on the shelf before selling them. And that's a huge part of why we're not in stores anymore. Because for me, I don't want to put something on my face that's been sitting on a shelf for years with ingredients that might not even have come from that year's harvest or the year before's harvest. It's so typical when ordering ingredients to get ingredients that were already years old. And so if you're using ingredients that are already years old and then you're mixing them up into formulas that then sit on a shelf for years, it's just this like mathematical nightmare for me. I can't even wrap my head around that is how it is typically done, but it is. And so do we have a shelf life? We do. I will tell you, when you receive your orders from us, it's so super fresh. Drink it up fresh. We invest massively, you invest massively. Our price point comes from these decisions. So what you're investing in, get the full life out of it, use it up while it's fresh. At delivery, begin your use. Ideally, you're opening your bottle within 6 months of delivery, and then you're using it within a year of opening. If you're really using this though, it's not lasting you 6 months. It's not lasting you a year. Your skin will drink it up. Feed it, feed it, feed it, feed it. Don't have 30 products sitting in your bathroom. Have a handful and use them and love them and let them feed you and nurture you. The only reason that any of this is going to expire on you is if you're not using it, not loving it, in which case, let it go. Doesn't matter if it's from me. Let it go. Love it or leave it. I used the honey mud last night. It was pure lusciousness. Yes. I did the honey mud in the bath last night. It was the best. Sarah is asking Susan about the glass breaking in the shower. So one thing, our packaging is glass. I use everything in the shower. That's no secret. I have been doing that for 20 years, using everything in the shower every time. I have only actually broken the glass a couple of times. It breaks in big pieces, not small pieces. If it breaks at the neck, you might get a little bit of a shard. It's very minimal. If you are nervous about dropping things in the shower, a couple of things. One really simple tip, let me just grab one. You know the rubber bands that come on your produce? Save those, wrap them around your bottle. That's it. It's not cute, but if you are worried about dropping in the shower, put a rubber band around your bottle. You can also use, you can find on Amazon or a number of places, the silicone slips that go over glass baby bottles are also usable for these kinds of bottles and jars, and they're stretchy and they just slide right over. So you can, if you're nervous about the glass in the shower, or you're nervous about your grip, or if you have arthritis or any kind of condition that affects your grip, there's solutions. If you want help, send us a DM or an email and we'll get you sorted. The pendulum potion and the clean dirt is life. Yes. Have you tried them mixed together? Yes, mixed together. Do you suggest using the Problem Solver or any other products on keratosis, pilaris, and the backs of arms? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. So my favorite for this is actually the clean dirt. So using the clean dirt in the shower, mix up an extra big batch. You can do it in your treatment bowl, ideally, then you can really get enough. If you try to use just the amount that fits in your palm, it's gonna be too thin. You're not gonna get enough of the product to get the good texture that you need. So use your treatment bowl and your brush and mix up, maybe do a tablespoon or even 2 if you want to be more generous about it. It will puff up, it will fill your bowl pretty full, but that's good. You want that, you want a good amount of it. And then go into the shower, do your whole face, and then let it come down over the necks, backs of the arms, do your armpits. Really nice to treat the armpits. It keeps everything flowing. It's really good for lymph and circulation, clearing all of the gunk out. Also your face massage all gets pushed out to the armpits as well. So yes, do that. Do the clean dirt on any areas that are bumpy. This area especially is really useful. The backs of the necks is really good. But anywhere where there's that congestion. For me, I love doing the chest. Even the belly can feel awesome. Just get into all of your body spaces that need some love and attention. And then for the main bumpy spots, I would say the clean dirt, but if this is a consistent issue for you, if you can add in weekly treatments with the Problem Solver, or at least once a month, you can calendar this once a month. Do the backs of your arms, and at season change, like this is a perfect time, this is a really perfect time to also do the problem solver over your full back. And it can be hard to reach, so the brush helps, but also mixing it in the bowl, then you can just scoop it up with a handful and do it just like you would soap up your back is the easiest way to reach for treatments like that, if you don't have someone who can join you in the shower. How do we clean our empty minis to refill them? Easily, just the same as you would anything else. Most of the time, I'm just swishing it with water or a little bit of soap at the sink, you know, your natural dish soap, or even a little bit of whatever shampoo you use, whatever is convenient. The little minis, they're just glass, so they can be just easily cleaned out. The little spritzer for the jasmine garden, you don't have to clean that, just refill the bottle. It's easy. If you have them, you'll see. Yeah, the rubber bands on the bottles really do help a lot. If you're almost out of blue cocoon, order. Chocolate box, yes, it's such a good time to explore with the chocolate box. How long do your full-size products typically last? I just ordered the full size after using the chocolate box and I love them so much. Yes. Okay, so the full-size products, it really depends how you're using things. So I would say, I mean, I go through buckets of the jasmine garden, just buckets, because I'm obsessed and, well, I make it. So I can do that. I do go through this one the most just because I have it on me constantly. When my skin gets red, when it gets kind of flushed, when I'm just needing a reset through the day, first thing in the morning, last thing before bed, the jasmine garden is with me all the time. So I probably go through this at least every handful of weeks, probably sooner. Realistically, I have a few of these around the house, so it's a little hard for me to keep track of how fast I'm going through them. The blue cocoon, I drink up. I use a lot of this, and I use it a lot in the morning, and I use a lot at night, and I also touch it at different points during the day. Even with that, the blue cocoon still lasts me a good few months. For many of you, it lasts more like 5, 6, 7, 8 months. Some of you say that you replace about once a year. Hopefully you are feeding yourself something else if you are stretching it out that long. The youth dew is a little smaller. So small, it's disappeared. The youth dew is 30 milliliters. And I usually do about 2 or 3 pumps of this in the morning, and another 2 or 3 pumps at night, combining with the blue cocoon. This will last me probably a few months or so, and again, I'm pretty generous with it. The clean dirt lasts me several months. That's probably more like 6. The problem solver about the same, but also because I'm really, really consistent. So everything, I would say a few months to a handful of months is pretty typical to expect with the full size if you're being consistent. If you're being obsessive about it, you might fly through in a couple months, and if you're only showing up every once in a while, it might last you all year. So it depends how effective you want it to be and really how committed you are. I find that the more consistent I am with my treatments, with really making sure that every single week I'm doing the problem solver at least once, and every single week I'm doing the clean dirt at least a couple times in the morning, and that I'm never ever skimping on moisture, everything else ends up being bonus. But if I can lock in my commitment there, then I'm pretty golden and there's not much to manage. But if I start skipping treatments, or if I'm like, my skin's fine, I don't need to do anything today, there starts to be a buildup, and then I am fixing problems. And so I like to find a balance between giving my skin enough space and grace to just be, and noticing when it's absolutely fine to do nothing, to wake up in just a little jasmine garden and touch of the blue cocoon, not even a splash of water. And when I really do need the clean dirt, followed by the problem solver, followed by all the extras and all the massage. And where I've found my own personal best success with my skin is when it's a combination of those two things. When it's not necessarily I'm doing a big routine every morning and a big routine every night, day after day after day. It's not that. It's I might do almost nothing this morning, but at night I'm going to do a full treatment. Or I'm not going to do almost anything at night, but that means the next morning, clean dirt is on, right? And so it's following this dance that I found works for me. My skin demands both the power formulas, really getting things that will move the energy, that will clear the dead skin, that has the plant actives that help me with my redness, with my inflammation, with my pain, with my stuff. And then enough of the calming, cushioning, cooling, soothing moments to just balance out the equilibrium. The middle ground, it doesn't really work for me. But everybody's so different with that. So for you, again, if any of you at any point would like personalized guidance, that is what we do. I'm in love with the youth dew. Yes. Well, the youth dew help me with oil regulation. I have naturally very oily skin. Yes, I would say that anytime that you are properly feeding and hydrating your skin, it becomes more able to produce its correct oil levels on its own. And the youth dew is particularly good for feeding in only what is needed. So it's awesome whether your skin is oily and congested and breakout prone and has active lesions, all of the things happening. Youth dew is amazing, so good. Also equally good for thin, dry skin, maturing skin, really sensitive skin. The youth dew navigates the full spectrum so seamlessly. It's really very, very special, and it's my favorite for summer, my favorite. The blue cocoon never goes away, but what happens in these months of transition is I notice myself tuning into the ratios. So where in the cooler months where I might be having more dryness and more redness, I might be upping the blue cocoon ratio. Maybe it's 75% blue cocoon, 25% youth dew. And then as we head into the summer months, it might be more like 75% youth dew, 25% blue cocoon, where I'm just going in extra with the blue cocoon around the eyes and the nose, areas of redness or sensitivity, overexposure, things like that, but maybe the youth dew becomes my primary. So I'm just paying attention to things like that. But yeah, really, if you have very, very oily skin, getting into a solid rhythm with the problem solver and the clean dirt, which might in the beginning, you'll have to notice this. Sometimes it goes one way or the other. Sometimes you'll feel more oily for a second as we get the dead skin off and things cycling through, and then it'll shift over. So I would bring in the clean dirt every second or third day. I would bring in the problem solver 2 or 3 times a week, and then I would make the youth dew your primary moisturizer, and the jasmine garden an absolute must. If you have those 4, your oily skin will just be glowing, beautiful, healthy, vibrant, happy skin by the end of the summer. So let us know if we can help you with that in any way. Jasmine garden is a menopause lifesaver. Use it constantly to cool down hot flashes. Yes, so good for that. So good for that. If you are experiencing hot flashes for hormonal reasons of any kind, and just life. Maybe you're just in New York on the subway. It's a constant. So having something with you to instantly bring down that redness and heat is really important. And then have your little mini of the blue cocoon with you, so you can follow by adding a little bit more moisture into those areas after you miss 2, if that feels good. It doesn't always, but if it feels good, keep it there. Otherwise, the jasmine garden can be just great. In the summer months, it's nice to keep a second bottle in the refrigerator if you can. And if you haven't yet, drop into the Jasmine Garden Deep Dive Live and check out the frozen treatment cubes. That is your summer secret for beating the heat and feeling excellent. Thanks, Brenda. I got the treatment bowl and the brush, and honestly, I don't know how I've been without it for all these years. It makes such a difference in your whole life easier. It's really true. And the brush and the bowl are $30 and $40. And I have to tell you that that is just the biggest steal of all time. And if you order either of those on our site, they still come with the deluxe minis. So that's also a little secret. But if you're on the fence about the brush and the bowl, please just get them. Just get them. They will make everything else better. Someone asked, why does the youth dew make me break out? I don't know. There's a billion reasons you could be breaking out. If you think it's the youth dew specifically, there's definitely lots of tips. The youth dew deep dive live would be a good one to drop into. Most important thing, make sure that you're exfoliating before you moisturize, that you're only applying the youth dew to clean, freshly cleansed, wet skin. Wet skin is really, really key. There are both fat soluble and water soluble nutrients. In order to get the goodness out of the youth dew, you want to have both. So cleanse, do your treatment, whatever you're doing beforehand, lovely. Rinse, leave your skin completely wet, skip your towel, go right into the youth dew, massage it really, really beautiful and good into your skin. Follow with the Jasmine Garden warm massage. That will help huge amounts. If you're still breaking out, I'd love to know what other products you're using, what order you're using them in, what else is going on with you. Send us an email to care@maylindstrom.com or send a DM. We've got you. The blue cocoon is amazing, perfect for calming skin that's received too much sun. Yes. Blue cocoon gave me my sleep back. It's incredible. Yes, yes. The blue tansy that's in the blue cocoon has been studied for its association with helping with sleep disorders, anger, stress, overwhelm, feeling of being out of control. It's used for all kinds of interesting things in aromatherapy. And yeah, it's truly one of my favorite plants of all time in the whole world because of its incredibly powerful effects, not just on the skin, but also on the emotional centers. More questions about sun protection advice, and definitely send us an email for that. I used to talk a little bit about what I would do for myself, which involved a complex blend of the blue cocoon and zinc, but I am a formulator and I have the safe space and the knowledge and the know-how to do so safely. I also can factor in my own genetic history, and I just know about me, and SPF is beyond the scope of what I would have anyone else DIY. That's all I'll say on that. So if you'd like recommendations of things that you can buy that have already passed all of their testing and are approved and will protect you for sure, send an email to care@maylindstrom.com and we'll send you some of our favorites until I have more to personally share. And do you have specific foods or beverages you feel help your skin or harm it? Which goes along with all these other questions about food, which I've had a bunch of lately. So I think one of these upcoming weeks we'll do a food conversation. We'll talk about food. Maybe we'll cook something. It's too big of a subject to just tip into lightly. Thank you all for commenting to each other and answering each other. I love that. Also, I do post these replays, and it's really, really helpful if any of you who've commented here come back and drop your comments for other people to see and engage with, especially if you've offered advice or shared your story. It's really nice for us to be able to drop in and connect with each other like this. And for all of you who end up watching this on a replay, same there. I'm checking all the time. So if you're leaving questions and comments and you're with us, we see that. And more importantly, all of you see it from each other, and you learn from each other as much as you learn from me. So know that that's welcome, always. My daughter has dry, sensitive skin. Is your blue cocoon okay for her to use when her skin is bad? Yes, absolutely. So good for children. It's safe even for babies. Amazing for cradle cap, for rashes, for dry skin, for bug bites, for sunburn, for bruises, for rashes, for really the infinite list. Perfume would be incredible. Oh, believe me, it is high on the list. Okay, best recommendations for stubborn perioral dermatitis. Problem Solver and Blue Cocoon and Jasmine Garden are my top 3 recommendations. For more on why and how, go to maylinstrom.com, explore Skin Rituals tab, and tap into the ritual for psoriasis, dermatitis, and eczema. And you'll find some tips there for you. When will you be doing a GWP and a summer promotion? I've had that question a lot lately. I know we're getting close to that time of the year. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Here's what I'll say on that. I'm not going to tell you the date. I will tell you this is the time to make your wish list. This is the time to go through your cupboards, clear out anything that's no longer serving you. Think about what you'd like to call in to your personal care, what you'd like your relationship to your skin to look like. Make some space, make a wish list, get the chocolate box, try the minis, fall in love, update your lists, and make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. We're getting close. My menopausal skin is too sensitive for the new honey mud. What else could I use? Send us an email to care@maylinstrom.com. There might be ways to adapt the honey mud. There's also a whole family of other options for you and a whole world of other options for you. So send us an email, tell us more about what you're experiencing, how it's showing up, and we'll guide you. Sunspots near forehead, sides near hairline, what can help? That depends too. I'm not sure what kind of spots you're describing. So send us an email, send us pictures, tell us more descriptions, tell us what it feels like. Does it itch? More. We can help you best the more we know. Best ways to share the products with 5-year-old daughter? Demonstration. The most important thing that you can do for your children is to love on yourself out loud in public every damn day. Every day. Do it in front of your kids, do it in front of your partners, do it in front of your friends, do it in front of your family, do it walking down the street, do it sitting in a restaurant. If you have a kink in your neck, I want you to get in there and massage it. If you have a headache, I want you to get inside your eyeballs and massage it. If you have a heartache, I want you to get inside of your heart and massage it. If you need a time out, if you need to reset in the shower, I want you to get up from the dinner table. I want you to get up from the conversation. I want you to get up from the email and go do something for yourself that you would want your child to do when they feel like that. When you project yourself into your child's future, when you imagine your 5-year-old and they're spinning out and their heart is going wild and they're having anxiety spikes and their brain is racing with all of the news of the world and the day and all the heaviness of this humanness, what do you want them to experience? How do you want them to care for themselves? Recently, my kids, who are 5 and 9, have started asking me to show them how to prepare a bath, show them how to set up a room, to make it smell good, to light a candle, to bring snacks, to bring sound. They're asking for this now, and they're 5 and 9. And I know that they're doing that because they have watched me their whole lives practice showing up for myself like that. It's not natural. This isn't a given. I don't just walk around in this pleasurable bliss state all the time. It's really not actually how I'm wired. I'm wired a little tight and I get pretty anxious and I go through some pretty big dips and I get real shaky sometimes. And what I've learned in more recent years is that that's okay and that that's just part of how I human. And I've also learned that there are things that help me. And so now I just really make it a priority to do them, and it doesn't have to take a long time. You can turn on one song, it's 3 minutes, and it can change the whole trajectory of your day, of your mood. Turn on one song, put your hands on your body. Turn on one song, fill your body with breath. Turn on one song and sway just a little bit. You will feel different. Now, if you start doing that in the company of your 5-year-old, they will ask to join you. They will ask to try those oils. They will ask to put a little bit of the mask on their forehead. They will ask if they can, put this between their palms and breathe it in. They will ask if they can massage it into their chest after you show them yourself massaging into your chest. So, when you ask me, best ways to share products with a 5-year-old, insert best ways to share a product with anyone. Call in your friends, call in your neighbors, call in your partners, call in your team, call in your children. Most importantly, call in yourself. Show up and love on yourself actively every day. I'm getting married. What your week before wedding skin lineup would look like day by day. I wouldn't change too much. When you are preparing for a wedding, there's all kinds of other factors going on that are already going to shake things up. There's a lot of stress. There might be environmental changes. You might be experimenting with new stuff, so you have new product and new influences and new things going on. So leading up to a wedding, keep your care as consistent as possible. Try to do as little different as possible. This is not the time to introduce something new or to shift up a bunch of things. Right before my wedding, I decided to go and get my teeth bleached. I had a Groupon and I thought that seemed like a wise idea. It was not. It turned out they put vitamin E on my lips to protect from the light, and I was allergic to it, and my lips puffed up huge and peeled off, and it looked like I had my lips done the day before my wedding. And so my mouth was all puffed up, and I got eyelash extensions, which were a terrible idea. And so I just felt like not myself at all. And my husband had a sty in his eye, so we were going for it. And I lost my voice, in part from the procedure on my teeth and my lips. So don't try new things. This is not the time to try new things. Leading up to a wedding or any kind of special event, any kind of photos, any kind of something that you're nervous about, drop into care of your body. This is the time to treat yourself to the happy galaxy. This is the time to calendar the problem solver consistently. The problem solver and the blue cocoon and the jasmine garden would be my go-tos. Big time before an event, I would do the problem solver every second or third day. You could do that for a week or two beforehand. Up to 3 times a week on the problem solver, maybe not more than that. Outside of that, lots and lots of hydration. and watching the internal stuff. What are you consuming? Not just your food, but your media, your environment, your thoughts, your all of it. So tune in there, stay consistent with yourself. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. I'm gonna stop there. Thank you for all being here with me. Thank you for all your questions. Oh, you know what? I missed a couple. Almost. One more. This is important. Yeah. My skin goes very red after using the honey mud. It doesn't last long, maybe 15 minutes. Is that just part of the exfoliation? Yes, super normal. So what that is the salicylic acid getting into your pore lining, doing its magic work in there, and shedding those dead cells. So there is a period in which you might experience heightened flushing. Not everyone will experience this. If you don't, it's normal. If you do, it's normal. Okay? So also, when you first introduce the honey mud, you are more likely to experience the flushing at the initial introduction. So the first few times or first handful of times you use the honey mud, you might get that flushing. And then later down the line, you won't get that as much, if at all. Some people will never have that, and some people will always have that. It will always go away. Sometimes you will feel that very, very warm. That's okay, keep breathing. It will neutralize. Problem Solver does this too. So if your skin is feeling really, really, really hot, normal, what I ask is that you allow it to be the normal thing that it is. Keep breathing, be still, be present with yourself. It's just sensation. It's just like when you eat spicy food and your lips get warm and tingly. That is the literal thing that is happening. It's not dangerous. I know it can be intimidating. Stay with it. Your blood is moving, your circulation is moving, all the fresh oxygen is moving. This is where the magic comes from. I could have dumbed down these formulas to put them on the retail shelf. I could have done that. These formulas were made specific for people with severe skin conditions, hypersensitivity, a lot going on. I made this first for those people. But I used to do this one-on-one, and I used to be able to tell all of you exactly what to expect. And it is a little bit harder when you're following instructions off a website or off of a box, and there's only so much space. And so that's why these lives are so important. And for specific questions like this, our team, going to care@mailisdrum.com, anytime you think something's out of the ordinary, reach out to us, because sometimes it is out of the ordinary. Sometimes you're having an allergic reaction, or sometimes you're sensitive to something. Sometimes there's something that we can adjust and help you. Sometimes it's just not a fit. And other times, what you're experiencing is perfect and normal, and I just want to give you a squeeze and let you know to keep breathing and wait a moment, and in 10 minutes, you're going to feel exactly what I intended. Yeah, skin is so personal. And each of us are so unique, and our experiences of our skin and these formulas is going to be unique too. So we are here for you. We welcome you to be in touch. We love when you reach out, and we can't wait to welcome you in deeper. So thank you all again for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Take wonderful care of yourselves. Take wonderful care of each other. Let's start this second half of the year together. I love you. Have a beautiful day.